Come to you live from the National News Studio. Welcome to the news. My name is Clifford Richards.
And I'm Natalia Viravardhana. First, let's take a look at the headlines for tonight.
The President begins an official tour in Japan. He also presides over the Expo 2025 Sri Lanka Day ceremony. Sri Lanka joins BBNJ agreement with 60 countries. Special discounts are provided to the visitors at the International Book Exhibition, which commenced today. Thalal Blue Flag Coastal Project begins. The Narayanpeta railway station to be modernized under the Clean Sri Lanka program. A single super app for the payment for government digital services. Israeli Prime Minister expresses displeasure over several countries recognizing Palestine.
Moving on to the stories in detail, President Anukumar Dissanayake arrived at the Kansai International Airport in Osaka, Japan, that's today, and commencing his official tour.
The visit takes place according to the official invitation extended by the government of Japan. The president on arrival was warmly received by the Japanese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Akio Izumata, and Sri Lankan ambassador in Japan, Professor Pivithuru Janakumara Singha, and a group of senior officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The president will engage in the official tour until the 30th of this month. The president was the chief guest at the Expo 2025 Sri Lanka Day ceremony held today. The event was jointly organized by the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau and the Sri Lankan Embassy in Japan. President Anukumara Dissanayake during his tour is also scheduled to meet Emperor Naruhito of Japan and Prime Minister Shigeru Shiba. In addition, the president is also expected to meet the Japanese Ministers of Defense, Foreign Affairs, Economic, Trade and Industries and several other leading ministers. It has also been reported that the president is scheduled to attend the joint sessions of the Sri Lanka and Japan Chambers of Commerce in Tokyo. He will also attend Sri Lanka Investment Forum. Foreign Minister Vijitha Herath is accompanying the president in the tour.
President Anukumar Dissanayake attended the ceremony organized by the government of France. That's to mark the accession of 60 countries to the agreement under the United Nations Convention on the Law of Sea on the conservation and also the sustainable use of marine biological diversity areas beyond national jurisdiction, held in New York yesterday. Well, the ceremony was held with the participation of the French President Emmanuel Macron and other world leaders. Sri Lanka became the 58th state party to the agreement on the 16th of this month, thereby formally acceding to the convention. Following 2 decades of negotiations, the agreement on the conservation of sustainable use of marine biological diversity of areas beyond national jurisdiction, commonly referred to as the BBNJ agreement, has now been signed by 60 countries, enabling its entry into force, covering 2/3 of the world's oceans. President Anukumar Dissanayake has engaged in a cordial conversation with U.S. President Donald Trump on the sidelines of the special dinner reception hosted by the U.S. President. President Dissanayake had attended a special dinner ceremony on the last 23rd hosted by the President Donald Trump at the Lotte New York Palace Hotel. The president posed for a photograph after a cordial conversation.
Burials of the 4 of the bhikkhus killed in an accident now in a monastery in Malsiripura, Kurunegala have taken place at the Pansiyagam General Cemetery this afternoon. A large group, including the Mahasangha, politicians and devotees, has gathered at now in the monastery to pay their last respects. The final rites were performed on 3 Sri Lankan bhikkhus and Russian bhikkhu at the Sima Malaka of the Aranyasenasana at 2 p.m. The religious performances were conducted by the Mahasangha, headed by Mahanayaka of the Sri Lanka Ramanya Nikaya, Most Venerable Makuluwe Sri Vimalathera, and Anunayaka of the Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya, Venerable Pahalavitiyala Janananda Thera. Remains of the Indian and Romanian bhikkhus were scheduled to be brought to their countries. The remains of an Indian bhikkhu kept at a private funeral parlour in Colombo was brought to India today.
Minister of Mass Media and Health, Dr. Nalindu Jayatissa, has declared open the 26th Colombo International Book Fair at the BMICH premises in Colombo this morning. Well, the exhibition will be conducted till the 6th of next month. All readers and visitors to the exhibition are being accorded a very warm welcome and also the opportunity to purchase books at special discounts this year as well. The Colombo International Book Exhibition is a unique opportunity to read and purchase books during this literary month of September. This event has been organized for the 26th occasion by the Sri Lanka Book Publishers Association.
දැවැන්තව සංවිධානය කරන මේ පොත් ප්‍රදර්ශනයේ අද සමාරම්භක දවස. ඉතින් අද උදෑසනේ සෞඛ්‍ය හා ජනමාධ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය වෛද්‍ය නලින්ද ජයතිස්ස මහත්මයාගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් මේ පොත් ප්‍රදර්ශනය ආරම්භ කර
Minister Dr. Nalindu Jayatissa says that this is a national festival and a cultural ceremony. Hundreds of thousands of book lovers participate in this momentous occasion. The minister has thanked the Book Publishers Association for providing the opportunity to the general public to gain access to valuable reading material. President of the Sri Lanka Book Publishers Association, Dinesh Kolatunga, says that this is an exhibition of many specialities. It is a guideline for literature in Sri Lanka. He added that this program is being implemented in parallel with the Clean Sri Lanka project in order to inculcate the habit of reading. Director General of SLRC, Manoj Nadishana Amarasinghe, says that it is the national television which is sponsoring the International Book Exhibition for more than 20 years since its inception. A prominent addition to this year's exhibition is the induction of a dubbing studio. He further pointed out that this helps to gain knowledge on dubbing and also to identify hidden talents of a person in the art of dubbing.
දුවදරුවන්ට පුළුවන් මේ ස්ථානයට ඇවිල්ලා ඒ හඬ කැවීම මැදිරියට ඇතුල් වෙලා හඬ කැවීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් වෙන කිසියම් දැනුමක් අවබෝධයක් ලබා ගන්න අතරම ඔබ සතුව යම්කිසි දක්ෂතාවයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒකත් පෙන්වන්න ඒ අවස්ථාව ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන්.
Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Chanaka Solangarachi says that the Kuliapitiya Teaching Hospital has for the first time extremely successfully concluded the surgery on spinal cord in the backbone. He adds that the operation was conducted without causing pain to the patient. An endoscopy camera was used in the surgery, making a centimeter-long incision on the series of bones in the back from neck to the hip area downwards. Another special feature is that the patient was not subjected to full anesthesia and only a numbness created in the surgery area. Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Chanaka Solangarachi says that it was for the second time a surgery of this nature was performed in the government sector. The patient is remaining extremely healthy. Only a cut of less than 1 centimeter was made in the operation, and as a result, the patient would be able to go home without serious delay. The camera was able to inspect the operation extremely well. As this was very sophisticated operation, the health precautions were at a higher level. Dr. Solangarachi added that the patient does not need to have any unnecessary fears of any after effect.
The inauguration ceremony of the proposed Thalala Blue Flag Coastal Project has got underway at the Thalala beach this morning, and the relevant exchange of the Memorandum of Understanding, the MOU, has also taken place at the occasion. The present government is engaged in a significant project to safeguard nature. It is a joint initiative of the Clean Sri Lanka National Project and the Marine Environmental Protection Authority. The maiden project of this program got underway at the Thalala beach today. Minister Dr. Dhammika Pattamani says that Sri Lanka needs to fulfill the criteria in order to gain the international recognition regarding marine cleanliness. Cleaning of the beachfront is of extreme importance in this connection.
Additional Secretary to the President, Russell Aponso, says that Clean Sri Lanka program enables to elevate to a higher status of the obligations of the citizens to create a clean environment.
Renovation of the Nara Hempita railway station has got underway today. It is being implemented as a Clean Sri Lanka project under the Dream Destination program. The Nara Hempita railway station is considered as an exceptional railway station in the Kalani Valley line. It is located between the Kota Road and Kirulapana railway stations. The distance to the Nara Hempita railway station from the Fort railway station, Colombo, is only 5.6 kilometers. The Nara Hempita station is comprised of 2 main railway platforms and a ticketing counter. Another special feature of this station is that it is closer to many important government institutions such as the Department of Labour and the Department of Motor Traffic, as well as of several private institutions. The Nara Hempita station is being used extensively by the passengers. Therefore, it has become an imperative need to modernize this station with a passenger flyover and also to repair the roof of the second platform and to enhance the sanitary facilities.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri was the chief guest. That's at the transformative exhibition Feminist Futures, Art Activism and South Asian Womanhood, held at the Lotus Art Gallery of the National Museum in Colombo yesterday. Well, this exhibition was organized and curated by art historian Dr. Arsha Lokhandwala, and this exhibition showcases the powerful voices of 11 South Asian artists representing the countries Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, Bangladesh and Pakistan. Feminist Futures inquires into systematic violence, gender inequality and also cultural taboos, while also celebrating the resilience, autonomy and solidarity of women. The exhibition is scheduled to be conducted until the 8th of next month. The event was attended by Minister Hinuduma Sunil Senami and others as well.
The first program in a series designed to sensitize government officers on the government's digitalization initiatives was held yesterday at Kandy. It was under the direction of Senior Advisor to the President on Digital Economy, Dr. Hans Vijay Surya, that the program was conducted. The program aimed at clarifying the government's digitalization plans and enhancing officials' literacy in AI technology was attended by officers from the Kandy district. Our correspondent said the district secretariats, divisional secretariats and other government institutions in Kandy were present at the event. Senior Advisor to the President on Digital Economy, Dr. Hans Vijay Surya, said that Sri Lanka targets the digital economy. He points out that the country has to uplift the existing 3% level of the digital economy to around 15%, which would create the space for a digital economy valued at 15 billion rupees. He adds that accordingly, Sri Lanka needs to increase its existing digital economy capacity by 5-fold. Dr. Hans Vijay Surya also said currently Sri Lankan digital economic workforce is around 100,000 and the aim is to increase it around 200,000. The World Tourism Day falls today.
And economists point out that it is an extremely auspicious condition, and that's to name Sri Lanka as an ultimate tourist destination in the world tourism. Well, it is true that Sri Lanka's tourism industry was at somewhat advanced status by the year 2018. Tourist data records that more than 2.3 million tourists had visited the island in that year. However, the progress was tarnished due to several incidents, including the Easter attack in 2019, COVID pandemic, and also the economic crisis. It was after the present government came into power last year that a revival in the local tourism industry has been recorded once again. Last year, Sri Lanka had witnessed the arrival of more than 2.5 million tourists, earning a record revenue of $3.17 billion US. Even in the first 9 months of this year as well, a staggering arrival of 1.7 million tourists had been reported, and this year's revenue has already exceeded $3.17 billion US. Well, the government hopes to attract around 3 million tourists to Sri Lanka before the end of this year, and also massive revenue of $5 billion US. The government has organized numerous programs with the assistance of the private sector to attract more tourists into the country. The highest number of tourists arrived in Sri Lanka this year were from India, Russia and Britain. The global magazine Time Out Report has named Sri Lanka as the best global tourist destination for the month of October. Tropical climatic conditions and also cultural heritage and natural environment have been cited as reasons for Sri Lanka's success story in tourism. In addition, eye-catching beachfront, beautiful mountain sceneries, historical importance of ancient ruins, wildlife, safari tours, and other advantages.
The maiden Arogya Wellness Centre was visited with the people in Mapalagama, Galle, with the participation of Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa yesterday. 100 primary healthcare centres are scheduled to be established this year under the novel programme titled Supatrata Kudesa. It has been located at a place where people could reach to get facilities easily. The Minister of Health has registered the first service recipient at the Arogya Wellness Centre. The new centre will cater to around 5,000 residents in the Gram Niladhari divisions of Mapalagama, Palgaswala and Gonalagoda. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that in Sri Lanka, there are normally available other treatment centres. He has pointed out that, however, the country's health networks should be transformed into wellness centres. The minister further said they need a methodology which is responsible to look after the patients. The wellness centre will achieve this objective.
ඔබ අපි ළඟට ආවත් නැතත් ඔබේ සෞඛ්‍ය වෙනුවෙන් වග කියන ක්‍රමවේදයක් අපිට අවශ්‍යයි. අන්න ඒක තමයි මේ ගොඩනගාගෙන යන්නේ.
The 30th anniversary celebrations and the annual general meeting of the Sri Lanka Muslim Media Forum was held at the Postal Department Auditorium in Colombo today. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa was among those who have attended the event.
The Minister of Digital Economy has taken measures to introduce a single super app to be used in state digital payment services. And this aim is to create an efficient digital service via government digital services, which have been spread out throughout the country. Well, the Ministry of Digital Economy says that it has been observed that the community encounters considerable difficulties due to different access methods prevailing at present. Furthermore, it has been estimated that there would be economic loss of 500 million rupees thereby. Therefore, in line with the digital economic plan in Sri Lanka, the development of the government super app that covers a broad range has been identified as a strategic priority in providing government services. A sum of 500 million rupees is to be spent on the project, which is to be implemented under 2 stages. Deputy Minister Eranga Weeraratne says that the super app enables to monitor all sprinkled government services through a single location. In order to do so, a web app and also web portal will be provided, and the government super app will be able to carry out all payments to be made for government institutions from a single interface. The Deputy Minister also points out that the entire general public will be able to fully engage in this productivity activity via this digital system.
Sri Lanka marked World Tourism Day 2025 today with the launch of the Sri Lanka Tourism Expo, highlighting the role of youth, sustainability and global leadership in shaping the future of the tourism industry. A special program was held this morning at the One Golf Fest cinema premises in Colombo under the global theme Tourism and Green Investments. The event aimed to encourage the active participation of youth and small and medium enterprises in shaping a sustainable future for Sri Lanka's tourism sector. A series of competitions and activities were organized at both provincial and international levels to mark the occasion. A special exhibition was also held during the event. The program took place under the patronage of Deputy Minister of Tourism Professor Ruwan Ranasinghe and was attended by students of the University of Colombo, tourism industry experts and other invitees.
Education leaders from across South Asia gathered in Colombo this week, and that's for a regional conference highlighting the growing importance of learning German to boost students' career opportunities.
Well, the School Leaders Conference, South Asia 2025, organized by the Goethe Institute, was held in Colombo from September 19th to 22nd of this month. Academic leaders, language experts, and policymakers from Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and also India took part in this event. This year's focus was on the strategic value of German language education in enhancing both employability and academic success. Participants explored how German can be served as a bridge between classroom learning and career readiness, equipping students with skills needed to thrive in the global job market.
Sri Lanka's tourism industry welcomed a new landmark yesterday with the grand opening of the Ramadia Grand Hotel in Moratuwa, setting new standards in elegance and world-class hospitality. The hotel officially opened its doors yesterday, marking a major step in transforming Moratuwa into a vibrant tourism hotspot. The Ramadia Grand Hotel is expected to strengthen Sri Lanka's profile as a premier travel destination, offering luxury accommodation and modern facilities in the heart of the city. The grand opening ceremony was a spectacular celebration featuring a star-studded musical extravaganza. Tourism and hospitality stakeholders say the new property will help boost local tourism events and business travel in the Moratuwa area. We'll be bringing you foreign news right after this break. Welcome back, and we are moving into foreign news. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu strongly criticized recent moves by several countries to recognize a Palestinian state during his address to the United Nations General Assembly.
Well, in fact, his speech was prompted by a walkout by many diplomats.
Netanyahu described the recognition of Palestine as a mark of shame, saying it sent the wrong message. His remarks came after countries including the UK, France, Canada and Australia announced their decision to recognize a Palestinian state this week. He repeated that Israel would not accept the creation of a Palestinian state and rejected UN accusations related to the war in Gaza and aid restrictions. Outside the UN, protesters gathered in Times Square over the conflict. Inside, diplomats from several countries left the hall during his remarks.
Welcome back, and we're moving on to the world of sports, starting off with a celebratory note. Well, Pathum Nissanka has been successful in becoming the first Sri Lankan cricketer who had scored the highest number of runs in an innings in the T20 encounter.
He had gained this unique achievement in an Asia Cup match played with India yesterday. Sri Lanka has won the toss in the match played in Dubai. The team has handed over India the chance to bat first, and accordingly, Indian inning was opened by Abhishek Sharma and Shubman Gill. Mahesh Deekshana took the first wicket for Sri Lanka when the Indian score was at 15. The highest scorer was Abhishek Sharma, who hit 61 runs in 31 balls. India has scored 202 runs for the loss of 5 wickets within the allotted 20 overs, which was the highest score recorded by a team in the current Asian Cup tournament. The Sri Lankan opening batsmen were Pathum Nissanka and Kusal Mendis. Mendis was out for no score. Thereafter, Kusal Janit Pereira along with Pathum Nissanka had built a 127-run partnership for the second wicket. Kusal Pereira's 58 runs was his 16th half-century in T20 cricket. Pathum Nissanka's 107 runs facing 58 deliveries was the highest score by a Sri Lankan cricketer in a T20 inning. Nisanka was out when the Sri Lankan score was at 191 runs. Accordingly, at that moment, Sri Lanka needed 12 runs to be scored in 5 deliveries. The Sri Lanka score was tied up with the Indian score of 202 runs.
Of just 50 deliveries. That's straight. Swing. Now high. It's gone straight.
In order to decide victory when the scores of the two teams were equal, an additional super over was granted. The Sri Lankan players scored 2 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. The Indian batsmen passed their mark without losing any wicket. Therefore, India was adjudged as the winner. The finals of the Asia Cup cricket tournament, India and Pakistan, will be played tomorrow.
He's got a wicket. Class of the man. One goal save, but Gill and the captain.
And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Join us tomorrow, same time. Good night.